Hello, super friends. Welcome to another episode of Cheap Comic Collector. This is number 258, and today I'm going to film a few episodes in a row, and I'm going to try and use just the camera phone up overhead, because I've looked at some of the recent videos, and the video quality doesn't seem to be there. I've lost a lot of the video quality that I used to have by using the laptop camera and then running the camera phone through the laptop and through the software that I use. So I'm going to try to go old school a little bit and just use the camera phone, see if that improves the video quality, and then and of course I'll still use the software for like the live streams because you kind of have to do that. But anyway, trying to get back to better video quality because I know the quality of the videos of the actual video has been not always up to snuff recently. So thanks for watching. Thanks for being here. And today we're doing What Did I Read episode. We're going to take a look at Gorilla Man, one of the last issues of Walt Disney Comics and Stories from the original run, Bow's Chronicles, and Borderlands. Excuse me. To start off, we got Gorilla Man. And this was a fun series. Nothing profound about it. It's written by Jeff Parker, artist by Giancarlo Caracuzzo, or something like that. And the cover is by Dave Johnson. So this was the first issue of a 3-issue series that I only have this first issue. But it looked fun, Gorilla Man, and it was fun. It was a fun issue. This organization is attacking something. I forget. I read this a few days ago, and Gorilla Man shows up to stop them, and he's still working for Atlas. You got Jimmy Woo making an appearance here, and he basically recruits the female mercenary team that's leading the bad guys to come work for Atlas, and the Gorilla Man does, and then it kind of moves on from there to Gorilla Man traveling to Africa to get involved in something, and it keeps showing these flashbacks of Gorilla Man when he was a child. So it kind of shows his origin a little bit in flashback where he was an orphan back in 1930, and some rich guy kind of recruits him, takes him under his wing, gives him a job even though he's just a kid, and so it keeps flashing back to that time when he was working for this guy. Don't know exactly where that's going, but it did make it much more interesting than just a straightforward storyline. And then in the back it has a reprint of a reprint called It Walks Erect. It was originally presented in Mystery Tales 21, and it's basically about a scientist that gets the body of a gorilla. It doesn't have anything really to do with the current Gorilla Man. It's just I guess maybe reprinting where the original idea came from or something. But anyway, it was a fun issue. I enjoyed it. I don't know that it's I don't know. There just there doesn't that there's what do I want to say? I don't know. I enjoyed it. I would be interested in reading the other two. I don't know that I would have bought the other issues if I had bought it like off the newsstand for $4. There's just not that much meat there, but it is fun. Um, reading it as a standalone story of 3 issues, like in a trade paperback or something. I don't know if they've ever collected it, but that would be probably the way to go with it. A lot, which is true of a lot of the more modern books. They're actually made to be read as a trade paperback, not as a thin floppy, which is why so many of the modern comics, it doesn't seem like there's enough story there. It's they're purposely being made that way, unfortunately. And next up, we got Walt Disney Comics and Stories 504 from 1982, I believe. Yep. And it starts off with a reprint of a story from Walt Disney's Comics and Stories number 250. Donald Duck is broke as usual, and he has to try and he needs money to take Daisy. He's supposed to take Daisy to a box social, which and most people watching this would know what a box social is, where you go and the guys are supposed to bid on the girls' like picnic baskets, and then they get to eat with whoever's basket that they bought. And Donald Duck is ordered by Daisy to, come bid on her basket, basically. So the kids want to use their piggy bank money to buy medals for one of their leaders in the junior woodchucks, and Donald takes the money because he's broke and he needs the money to bid on Daisy's basket. And so the nephews try to stall them getting to the picnic, but Daisy comes prepared. She blames everything on Donald not wanting to go to the picnic, and then it ends up with her forcing Donald to take a wrong turn, so they don't actually end up at the picnic till very much later after it's all over. And so the nephews get their money back, and then it come to find out the whole picnic was a fundraiser to help buy the medals that the kids wanted to help buy in the first place. So it's a cute little 10-pager. It's nothing profound. It was fun. It's a little bit forced maybe in the gags, but it was cool. And then next up you got the Big Bad Wolf and the Wicked Witch teaming up to try and take on the Snow White and the 3 Little Pigs. So they team up and fail miserably. And then you have a Winnie the Pooh story, which I haven't read much Winnie the Pooh in comics. Usually they're pretty simple. There's one gag in here that I did find amusing, and that is this little gopher here. His name is Eep of the Gra, like EEP of the GRA. So Eep of the Gra is his name. So he's apparently a continuing character, because I didn't understand why he had such a name until later in the story. It shows him at home here somewhere. Here it is. And his burrow is right in front of a broken "Keep Off the Grass" sign. So his name is Eep Off the Gra, because it's missing or is covered up the rest of the sign. So I thought that was funny. The rest of it's just kind of straightforward, but And then there's a Chip and Dale text story where they deal with Fallfellow and Gideon from Pinocchio. That's also reprinted from number 250. And then there's a Mickey Mouse part 2 of The Sorcerer of Donnybrook Castle. This is reprinted from number 352. And I didn't read it because, first of all, it's part 2 of what's probably a 3-part story. And I've never much cared for the ones where Mickey goes back in time or whatever. So, other than that, pretty good issue. You know, it's a kid's book, so what do you expect? You know. And then I read a couple more issues of Boz Chronicles. This is number 2. This great cover by Brett Blevins. And these were good. These were just as good, or if not better, than the first issue that I read. This is number 2. And it's they get involved in investigating basically demon sightings, and figuring out what's going on. And it's a fun read. It's the characters are very well done, very well written, with everybody having their own personality. And the art is fantastic. The story is fantastic. The one thing about the story is it does just kind of fall into place for them without much effort. They didn't really do any investigative work. The solution just kind of falls into their laps. But still, it's a fun read because of the characterization and so on and so forth. And then in number 3, they get involved with a street urchin who's basically a pickpocket, and Boz gets separated from his companions and goes with the street urchin, who will believe anything that the street urchin tells him because he doesn't understand the concept of lying. And so he believes all these outlandish things that the kid tells him and helps the kids get money and things like that. And then they end up in the sewers underneath London here, and there's a whole a place down there where this guy lives, and he wants to he can see what Boz has done and can do and stuff, and he wants to use him as part of these experiments where the guy is basically bringing stuff from the future and sending people to the future. But everybody that he works on dies, so he's trying to figure it all out. And eventually that's all resolved as well. So good stories, just really, really, really good comics. And yeah, they do have an adult slant to them, but they're not... nothing that's really objectionable. Just mature, you know. And then we have Borderlands: The Fall of Firestone. I'm not familiar with the Borderlands series. This appears to be perhaps a mini series or a second series of Borderlands or something. This was a fun read too. Actually, I was surprised. It takes. Not sure where it takes place, if it's on another planet or if it's supposed to be the future of this planet or what exactly. I'm not familiar enough, not having read Borderlands before, of what exactly is going on. But anyway, it's basically a fight for survival. They're fighting cannibals, they're fighting robots, they're fighting monsters. It's very much it kind of felt like a Dungeons and Dragons type scenario, except it's like an apocalyptic future base, sci-fi base, instead of fantasy elements. And here's number 2. But it was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. I've said before, I'm not a fan of most of the modern art styles. They're a little bit too bug-eyed monster anime influenced for my tastes. Cartoon based kind of, but all modern art kind of going that way, and I can't really get away from it. They have a crossword puzzle. It's a modern, well, what passes for a crossword puzzle for the people that are too lazy to actually create a real crossword puzzle. But anyway, this was good. It was good. I enjoyed it. Which not a whole lot of story to it, but it's a quick read. It's fun, and so yeah, I enjoyed pretty much all of this. Boss Chronicles gets my vote for favorite, and I don't really have a least favorite there. The rest of them are all kind of tied. But Boss Chronicles definitely gets my vote of approval. This is like 2 and 3. I think I have 2 or 3 more issues to read in this series. But these are good stuff. Good stuff. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Tomorrow we're going to be taking a look at some more books that I got in from Dr. Skull. Some cool stuff in there, including an old Dell Tarzan annual. So, tune in for that, and we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching.